Today, we're gonna go over all the details on how I transformed our fireplace from looking like this to looking like this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very long-awaited video for me, not so much for you guys. I actually finished this fireplace transformation a couple months ago, and so I just haven't ended up filming and talking to you guys about how it all went down. And so here we are today. We're gonna go over all the details on how I transformed our fireplace from looking like this to looking like this. So right now I am currently in our formal living room, the front room. If you guys remember from my house tour, this room was like completely empty. I think we may have had like a couple things in the corner. And then I talked about how this fireplace was just a huge eyesore in this house. Have our nice fireplace over here that kind of looks like poo. This is the first thing we're conquering. Probably today, we're gonna paint this eyesore because it's an eyesore. And so I knew it was the first thing that needed to go. So my inspiration for this room was kind of a cozy vintage vibe. I thought the fireplace would be nice to just kind of blend in and not pop so much and let other accent pieces like the old piano be the accent of the room. And so we're painting our whole house white. And so that's what we painted. The fireplace obviously was a white color and it had tiling on it. And so I wasn't sure exactly how to paint tile, and I also wasn't sure if there was certain rules for painting a fireplace. So I hit up Pinterest and YouTube and did a lot of research, and I got kind of two mixed reviews. Some people said just do primer and paint like you would normally do, and then other people said to use this like 3-step method where you prime it with a certain primer, then paint it, and then seal it with like a heat resistant paint. And so I went back and forth, and I decided just through my own research that I would just do it the normal way and see how that worked. Eventually we may end up pulling the tiles up and doing something a little bit more accented with the tiling work. But for now, I was thinking that would probably be the best route to go. And so far, so good. We've turned on the fireplace a couple times before it got into the hundreds here in Arizona. And I haven't had any issues with the paint like buckling or peeling. So far, so good. So as soon as we decided we wanted to start the painting process downstairs, I had to hit up Home Depot. And I got a drop cloth, some brown paper for around the fireplace and just the rooms in general so we don't drop paint, painter's tape, paint brushes, and then I just use Kilt's all-purpose primer from Home Depot. And then I also used the Burr paint from Home Depot in Polar Bear, and it's a semi-gloss paint. And so I just wanted to tell you guys that that's what we're painting our whole house with, is a Polar Bear semi-gloss from Burr. And I really love the color. Originally I was thinking I would go with white, like pure white, but it was so harsh like on the eyes, like it just was so bright, and it kind of pulls like a blue tint to it. And I wanted a white that pulled almost a more warm tint. I didn't want it too warm, not cream at all, still white. And I feel like the Polar Bear was the perfect choice. I'm very happy with how it looks on the fireplace and how it looks like in our living room. So that's what I got for painting supplies and primer and paint. And so next up, we had to prep the fireplace. So I was very thankful that I had my cousin Madison here to help me with the fireplace. And so we started off by cleaning the whole fireplace with some soapy water, just because there was a lot of like black, I don't know if it was ash because it's not like a real fireplace, but there was like some black residue everywhere. And so we got that all cleaned up. And I had the lovely task of covering up the holes from the TV stand. So when we first saw this house, there was a big TV up there, and so when they moved out, they left the TV stand like in the wall, and that thing is heavy duty. Like you could probably hang a person, a semi truck from it, I don't know, like it was super heavy duty. And so I was like, oh no, this is probably going to leave a mark, and it sure did. It left some big holes. And so I had to patch them up, sand them down a couple times, but I got them very smooth and they look good. You can't even tell on the fireplace that they were there, so that was good. But it definitely added a little bit to the prepping. So the next thing we had to do was tape off the surrounding areas of the fireplace. I wasn't too worried about the back wall where the windows are at because I knew we'd eventually paint that and the ceiling the same color. But I still wanted a semi-clean edge because I knew we wouldn't be doing that for a couple months. Obviously, we still haven't done it, so I'm glad we didn't just messily just hit the wall. I mean, I hit the wall. If you've watched any of my YouTube videos, you know I'm not the most like precise human, and yeah, so that just kind of happened and it's okay. It didn't show up too bad. Can't even tell. It's no big deal. And then we had to lay the cloth down, the brown paper down, and tape off like the actual black fireplace so that we wouldn't get paint on that. And so the next step was priming. We're doing the first paint.
It actually covered up pretty well, but
good. The first paint is underway.
Nolan just started to paint. Nice.
Wow, that felt okay.
Me and my cousin are experienced painters, kind of. We both painted in our parents' houses, in our bedrooms growing up, and so we did have an idea of kind of how to go about painting something. But we've never painted over black before. As we were painting over it, it would like, oh, it looks good. But then as it dried, it would just get more see-through. And so we ended up doing 3 layers of primer, which was way too much. And Nolan, my husband, came down and he goes, guys, you have to remember you're not painting right now. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. And we're like, yeah. We just really need to cover up this black. We got very fixated on covering up the black. And so we did like way too many layers of primer, but it's okay because we got it covered up and the paint went on beautifully. But we primed it all 3 times and then it was ready for painting. And so we ended up only doing 2 layers of paint over the primer, which is just the normal amount. And the paint also has primer in it as well. I definitely would recommend using a primer still, because even on these like tan walls that we had in our living room that we painted, we would have used so much paint. Having to use only the paint, the primer helps a lot, and it's so much cheaper to buy that than buckets and buckets of paint. But the paint turned out so well. I was very happy with how it all turned out and how drastic of a difference the fireplace made. I felt like when it was like black and brown, it just like took over the room, and not in a good way. It felt really big and bulky and kind of like in the way, I don't know. And now that it's white, I feel like it blends in better and like opens up the room, brightens it up, and it really accents the decor that's on it rather than it being the accent, if that makes sense. And so I'm very happy with how the paint turned out and how it stayed. It's had plants on it, and we've turned on the fireplace and nothing has moved. The paint hasn't moved and it hasn't like scratched or anything, so that's been really nice. As far as my decor goes, I actually already had this hanging pothos. It was the first pothos I got ever, and we've had it for like 2.5, maybe like 2.5 years. And so we have that in here now, and it's really pretty and long and trailing. And as far as the picture frames go, I'm not super set in stone with the pictures themselves. And that's why it's taken me so long to film this video, because I'm like, oh, it's just not perfect yet. And I just decided, you know what, it's good, and I'm gonna keep looking, and I'll do a whole like room transformation of this room, because I think this room is drastically going to change just as time goes on. But that's the idea that I want, is the 3 staggered pictures. And so the middle one, the like kind of watercolor one, is from At Home. If I can find it, I'll link my decor and stuff in the description. And then the 2 frames on the side with our pictures in them are from Amazon, and I got them a long time ago when I did my gallery wall in our second apartment, and they've held up really well. And then the 2 candles, the candle holders I got from a thrift store, and then the candles I also got from At Home. And I really love how that front mantle looks. I think it's clean, it's simple, but it still like draws your attention and looks beautiful. And then on the step, I have a basket with some blankets in it, and the basket I got from IKEA when we first got married. And then on the other side, I have a cute little fiddle that I'm growing from scratch. And the pot is from Target, and I think it all looks pretty cute together, but I'm very happy with the before and after of this fireplace. I think it's made such a drastic difference in this room. I think that the method that we did was definitely the cheapest way to go. And so 2 thumbs up for me for that method. I hope you guys liked this video and it helped you if you are looking to paint your fireplace or even decorate your fireplace. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know you like these home renovation videos. Trust me, there could be a lot more to come if you guys like these kinds of videos, because we are renovating this entire house. Subscribe to my channel and you can see more of that kind of content. Tick the bell so you get notified every single time I post, and I will see you guys in my next video.